I, like you, I've heard so many things about this season, about how messy it is, about how dramatic it is, but who I did not expect to be dramatic were the editors and the producers. My goodness. They clocked in. Rent was due. Ils avaient besoin de payer le loyer, and they came in. This is so diabolical. Tatiana saying she's 39 and the sound engineer just cuts the sound. What is going on? Are the French people okay? Listen, the cast is dramatic, don't get me wrong, but the editors ain't ish. The editors are not ish. They are playing into every single insecurity. Cynthia, she's worried about her height. You know what the cameraman is going to do? Position the camera all the way down here. My gosh. Really? And the man she's talking to, they will position the camera all the way up here. I am jumping. But what? Listen, I was expecting the cast to be messy, but the editors are right there with them. Maybe it's a cultural thing.
What jolts you awake? What keeps you up? If you can.
Hello and welcome to Life Lessons and Confession, the channel where we discover our power by discovering ourselves. My name is Paola, and if you like what you're listening to, please feel free to hit the like button, the subscribe button, as well as the bell notification. So we are going to jump into Love is Blind France, episode 1 to 4. I, like you, I've heard so many things about this season, about how messy it is, about how dramatic it is, but who I did not expect to be dramatic were the editors and the producers. My goodness. They clocked in. Rent was due. Ils avaient besoin de payer le loyer, and they came in. This is so diabolical. Tatiana saying she's 39 and the sound engineer just cuts the sound. What is going on? Are the French people okay? Listen, the cast is dramatic, don't get me wrong, but the editors ain't ish. The editors are not ish. They are playing into every single insecurity. Cynthia, she's worried about her height. You know what the cameraman is going to do? Position the camera all the way down here. My gosh. Really? And the man she's talking to, they will position the camera all the way up here. I am jumping. But what? Listen, I was expecting the cast to be messy, but the editors are right there with them. Maybe it's a cultural thing. But so enough with the first couple. The first person we meet is Chloe. She just seems cool, chill. She seems like those really calm and peaceful person. And we see her connection with Alexander, or Alexandre, as they say it. And honestly, pretty boring couple, okay? Pretty boring couple. At first, I thought they were cute, but then I was just like, compared to, I guess because the other ones are messy. I guess it's because the other ones are messy and they just seem much more down to earth. But they also have there's something there, okay? It's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's not just calm. There are other stuff there, but overall, I thought they were a good match initially, and I didn't think much of it. I literally only have Chloe in my notes. Like, Chloe seems cool. I have nothing about Alexandre. He didn't give me much on the screen initially. So moving on to the next person we meet Charles. And the first person Charles meet in the port is Julie. Okay, so we have Charles and Julie. They're talking in the ports. They are connecting. And here comes the twist. Like, listen, this is not my first time watching Love is Blind. I'm used to watching Love is Blind US, Love is Blind UK, and I'm clearly going to add Love is Blind France into things I review because this show is a mess. Like, I'm expecting twists. I'm expecting drama when I'm watching Love is Blind. What I'm not expecting is Oliver freaking Twist.
Please, sir. I want some more.
Like, I'm sorry. What in the orphan is going on? Charles lost his mother at 16. And at 17, he started living on his own because his father ain't ish. Julie doesn't get along with her family. She's the black sheep of her family. Her friends are her chosen family. I am like, my goodness. Like, wow. Like, that is a lot. That is a lot. Listen, orphans need love too. I get it. That was not the twist I was expecting. I was just expecting, like, I don't know. I have kids that I don't claim. If you know which Love Is Blind I'm referring to, you know what I'm saying. Like, I was expecting I was dating someone before coming to the parts, not Oliver Twist. Sir, can I have some more? What is going on? Listen, Oliver Twist must be French. It's not Oliver, it's Olivier. It is Olivier Twist. This is ridiculous. I am just like, huh? We second couple in, we talking about I was an orphan and I want to make my own family because I never had one when I grew up. That was sad. Okay, that was sad. I'm calling them Oliver Twist, but honestly, that was really sad. That's why I actually did not like this connection. I was like, this is trauma bonding. This is low-key, high-key trauma bonding. And I don't know how I feel about it. So after Charles meets Julie, he meets Sarah. And I'm saying it like that because they were making fun of the fact that his name is Charles and her name is Sarah. And it sounds very English. And it was fun. It was cute. So instantly, just compared to Julie and her trauma bonding and Sarah, I just like Sarah more. I did, okay? I just like Sarah more. Personally, as a viewer, I like Sarah more. And Sarah has a stronger personality. She's more open, she's more direct, and she's more to the point. Actually, scratch that. I just think French culture is just more direct and to the point because all of them were pretty direct and honest, which is honestly so refreshing on Love Is Blind. Like, these people talk. They talk in the ladies' lounge. They talk in the men's lounge. They talk in the pods, and they say everything. I've always been the type of person who values honesty, but now I'm like, there's a difference between being honest and being brutally honest. These people were brutally honest, and I'm like, should you have said that? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's a cultural difference. I don't know. It has to be because they all took it on the chin. It has to be. Sarah and Charles' connection, I just find that to be much more organic, much more fluid, much more playful, which I think is very important when you're having a connection with someone. So instantly, I just prefer Charles with Sarah because he was laughing more compared to Julie where they were both trauma bonding. And the next cast member we saw, well, I don't know if we saw this. This is just the next cast member I wrote about was Kim. Kim Possible. Kim was a very strong, ambitious woman. She's a lawyer. Okay. So, she has her head on straight. And the first person she met in the pod was Clément. And these people were talking. He's talking about how he's well-traveled. He met with the president of this. He's an intellectual. This lady is low-key she's low-key in heat on the other side of the pods. And I am like, Kim, you are definitely sapiosexual. You are definitely a sapiosexual. Girl, really? This man is just telling you about what he does, how he's well-read and well-traveled. You are getting giddy. And these people... Trust me, I love Kim though, okay? I love Kim. Not too much on Kim in the comments. I actually really like her and her wardrobe. But they talk about intimacy. And Kim is like, well, we have to do it 3 times. And Clément's like, 3 times? Half a day? She's like, no, 3 times a day. Because we're working. And I'm like, the French people are not going to beat those dangerously horny allegations. Y'all are not going to be, y'all are always in heat allegations. I'm sorry. 3 times a day is considered low? Damn. What? I was not aware cause you're working. So it would have been 6 times or 10 times a day if you weren't working. So on the weekends it's 6 times a day because you're working. It's only 3 times a day. What's going on? What is going on? Anyways, they're getting along very well. They have a lot of stuff in common. They're very ambitious, driven, and of course smart. So Kim has met her intellectual match. After that meeting with Clément, she meets with Thomas, and he's much more laid back. He's much more chill. And he has a daughter. Her name is Charlie. And he really loves her daughter. He's a father. He's He's a nurturer and all that. And she also makes a connection with him. So Clément is much more cerebral, just like her. And Thomas is much more someone she fell for from the heart instead of from the mind, which Kim does something next I did not expect, but I still love her for that. I was looking at my notes and I just realized I skipped Tatiana. So Tatiana, she is a 39-year-old woman. She owns a salon. She's a businesswoman, very driven. She too is a mom. And in the pods, one of the people she connects with is Thomas. And like I've said before, Thomas has a daughter named Charlie. Tatiana has a son named Timothée. And she is just like latching onto this man. And although, like, listen, Thomas does come across as a very nurturing, caring, and loving person. But when he met with Tatiana, I was like, this woman is going to cling on to him because she thinks he's the only one who can understand her as a single parent. And I did like how they talked to one another and they had a lot of stuff in common. But from initially I was like, dang it, it feels like Tatiana she's very concerned about her age. She's 39, but she is a divorcee. So I'm like, why are you concerned? You've already been married and you broke up. It's not like someone who has never been married, okay? And not that if you've never been married at a certain age, you lack something. You don't, okay? But I'm just like, well, Tati, you've already done it before. Why does it seem like you have to get married? You have to be... I mean, I get it. No one wants to technically be alone in their old age, right? I get it. A lot of contestants in this season are in their 30s. And most people in their 30s, they are at a point where the career is looking good. They've been in the career field for a while, or maybe they've just switched to a new career field that they love. It's doing good. They're making good money. And the next step is that lifelong partner. And I get that. But it's just like, Tati, you've been through it before. I don't know. Tati just gave me very clingy and desperate, but still intelligent, which is like a combo I did not think existed, but I was pleasantly surprised, all right? I was pleasantly surprised. But yeah, she meets with Thomas. She's instantly clicking. She's like, we are both parents. We both do this. He's going to understand me. He's going to care for me. And I'm like, I hope so, Tati. I hope so. And last but not least, we have Cynthia. And Cynthia is... what does she do? She's in luck stuff. I forgot what she does, okay? Listen, the girl is bougie, okay? The girl is bougie and she looks good, all right? And the first person she meets in the pot is Jonathan. And I just have instant like in my comments, I just have instant like. I guess I really like them together. And from my tone, you can tell it has shifted as the episodes went down. But first episode reaction, I really liked them together. So I guess there was something there. But now my eyes are open. Let's just say my eyes are open. So after Cynthia and Jonathan, who I instantly liked, so they must have had really good conversation. And I don't know, there was something about them I really liked because I just wrote instant like, but now it's different. And another person Cynthia meets is Madi. Madi is Christian. I just wrote down Madi is Christian and I have a question mark beside that. It's just, let's just say the Christian representation on Love is Blind has been very iffy. Scratch that. The Christian representation in the world has been very iffy, okay? Some Christians, not all, because you cannot paint an entire group under one umbrella, but some Christians have been weaponizing their Christianity for other stuff. And it's very distasteful, okay? So for Maddie, I just have Christian, question mark, does he have the right intentions? And I think Cynthia is also Christian, so they did connect on that faith-to-faith level. So they at least have that base and that foundation to go on. Episode 2 rolls in, and I'm just like, pay the sound engineer double. This man is working overtime. Rent is due for all of these editors. They are not playing. They brought their A game. Bring them to other Love is Blind franchises because these people need an award. Just an editing award. Jumping into episode 2, we have again Chloe and Alexander. I'm just very underwhelmed. I am just very underwhelmed. And underwhelmed does not necessarily mean boring, but it's just like, I feel like there is nothing there. Chloe is doing most of the conversation and he's just agreeing, which is not a really good sign on a show where you want to be married. Like, Are you gonna pull an SK and just agree to stay in the altar? You don't? Like, come on. Share what you want. I don't know. I was just very underwhelmed by this couple, but she seems to like him. He's agreeing. So there's that. He proposes. Wait, I don't know. Did he propose in episode 2 or episode 1? I'm not sure. Anyways, he proposes. He has a really nice teal suit. And I love the fashion this season, okay? From both the men's side and the women's side, the fashion was on top. And of course, Kim was standing at the top of it all. She's the one who has a similar style to this type of style I want to have. But anyways, so fashion was great. He proposes to her either episode 1 or beginning of episode 2. I forgot. And they meet one another, and it's a nice meeting, right? They meet one another, they're all over each other, they're so happy, they're so giddy, they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it, I fell in love with someone I never met. You know, the usual love is blind stuff. Oh my gosh, I am all over the place. I think in episode 1, Thomas told Tatiana that he was interested in Kim because Kim and Thomas were talking, and he alluded to the fact that maybe Tatiana might want to fight for him. I mean, the context needed to be said, and I am truncating it very, very small, all right? I watched these episodes a while ago. He alluded to the fact that maybe he would need a bit more of a fighting spirit. Let's just say that. He would need a bit more of a fighting spirit on Tatiana's side to know that she was interested in him. She immediately took that, ran to the ladies' room, pulled Kim to the side, and told him everything. And you know what? I love this. Some people might not like it. They might think it's messy. But what I appreciate about the cast of Love is Blind France is they will air everything on the table. We are not leaving anything unturned. However, they're not going to tell you who they're dating. You like some of the ladies who are in the ladies' room and they will be asked, hey, who are you talking to? They're like, I'm not giving you the name. Just know they're a good match. But if the connection says something that's a little shady, they will instantly go and talk. And I love this. I saw nothing wrong with it. So Tatiana talks to Kim about what Thomas said to her and how it was very disrespectful for the fact that he expects her to be fighting for him. Again, I am paraphrasing and truncating it. Context is needed. He didn't necessarily say that, but I mean, he did say that, but context, like, it was much more nuanced than that. So Kim is mad and she is furious. She gets in the pod and she just starts talking. Ba, 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 ba. You are over here talking about how you need Tatiana to fight for you. That is not manly, blah, blah, blah. And the whole time, Kim is talking to another person. I was laughing the whole time. When this thing happened, I was like, Kim is me. Kim is me. I love Kim. Kim Possible, you are not serious at all. She basically went off on her other connection and she thought it was Thomas. She went off on Clement thinking it was Thomas. And again, he just took it on the chin. He was like, wait a second. Were you told I said this? She was like, no, I was told Thomas said this. Why are you asking about Clement? He was like, well, because that's me. And she accidentally revealed to him she was more interested in Thomas than him, which it was like, okay. And I love the fact that when they realize you're not interested in me, they just break it off. That's how you do it. Stop trying to hold on to that weight. If you're not interested in someone, just break it off and move on. All right? We don't have all day. I guess that's because they're in their 30s. They're like, we don't have all day. You're not that interested in me. It's all right. Peace. And I really love that. But that little scene of Kim going off on him, I was just like, oh my gosh, Kim, you made a mistake. He's the wrong guy. But have I done something similar in the past? Maybe. Can't judge her too much for that. But they both laughed about it. And when she finally met with Thomas, she was much more calmer. And I think this is why these two match. Because her initial reaction, you know, she had all that passion and that ferocity, and she dumped it on the wrong person. And by the time she actually met with the person she was meant to dump it on, She felt embarrassed by the fact that she basically made a mistake. And I think this is why these two would not have matched had that little incident not happened. And if you watch the show, you know why as the series progresses. But anyways, so she finally meets with Toma. They talk about it. They talk about the fact that Tatiana alluded to him saying she would need to fight for him. And he explained context needs to be given, which is true. Like, he didn't deny it because there was nothing to deny, but there was context that needed to be given and maybe some misunderstandings that happened, which is fine. Because I heard it both ways. I can hear how Tatiana was offended by the fact that he wants her to fight for him. And I can also see his side where he's just saying, well, I have these two connections and I just feel like I need more from you, which is understandable. But yeah, by the time Kim got to him, she was laughing and giddy. She wasn't angry, which I think if he would have seen that side of her, he might not have actually proposed to her. But anyways, the next contestant that is shown to us is Yannick. And initially I was like, oh my gosh, this man is a jerk. This man is sleeping in the pause while a woman is talking. She's just going blah, 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 blah. I'm like, are you a jerk or is this cultural context I'm missing? Because I don't want to label someone a jerk, but that's a very jerkish move. And then after that, Yanni meets with Tatiana in the pods and they click. They have this amazing connection. But I did not like the fact that she shared her cultural background. People, this is Love is Blind. L'amour à l'aveugle. Why are y'all giving your cultural background? She's here talking about how she's mixed. She's mixed with Ivory Coast and Italian. And I am like, ma'am, you are on Love is Blind. Now he knows what you look like. Now he knows what you value. Why do y'all love sharing so much? And I was so proud of the French cast for keeping it cute and not sharing all this stuff. But they did. She did. And well, he connected with her regardless of her cultural background. But I just didn't like that little part. Yeah. After Yannick, Tatiana meets with Galien, and I don't have much about him. I just know I instantly liked him from the beginning. I was like, okay, he's a much better match for Tatiana because Yannick just came across as maybe a bit rude and insensitive because he was sleeping in the pods, but it might be cultural background. So I'm like, I don't know about you, but Galien was much more open, much more calm and laughing. And again, humor in a relationship for me is always going to be a 10 out of 10. And Maddie and Cynthia meet in the pod. Cynthia brought up the fact that she does not want her partner or partners to talk on the phone with their woman friends at 1 a.m., which is something that is completely understandable. But apparently this is a point of contention for Maddie. He is like, well, I feel like you are controlling me. I feel like I don't have my freedom. And I'm just like, are you freaking serious? That is not crazy. Okay, that is perfectly understanding for someone to not want their partner to talk. Again, I'm saying partner because this applies to men and women. It is perfectly understandable for you to not want your partner to talk to the opposite gender or the opposite sex at 1 o'clock in the morning. Like, that's not crazy. But this man is like, you're not giving me my freedom, liberté. Je veux ma liberté. And I'm just like, the French, okay? Y'all are messy. Listen, y'all are messy. What is going on? France is the country of love, liberty, and Oliver Twist. What is going on? What the freak is going on? I don't know. Okay? So this man is talking about he's not getting his liberty. And I'm just like, my D, essaye de grandir. You are not ready for love. My D, you're not ready. Are you kidding? Y'all cannot be serious. You really think you're going to be married to someone and be on the phone at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. with the opposite gender and just cacking it up? Who's going to allow that? Child. Listen, you can just be single and date for the rest of your life. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but you can do that. But this is not a red flag. This man is calling the fact that she does not want him to talk on the phone at 1 a.m. And she used that as a vague example, as a red flag. I'm like, my D, you the red flag. You are the red flag. You are the entire, you in the bin, in the trash, basura, basura, basura. Okay, are you kidding me? No way. Dans la poubelle, right now. And I guess Cynthia Cynthia took it well, but she also took it hard that maybe she's being clingy, you're not being clingy. Maybe she has attachment issues because she lost her parents as a preteen. And I am like, Cynthia, you and Oliver Twist?
Please, sir. I want some more.
Cynthia, my cousin, you Oliver Twist, Olivier Twist too? Dang. We got Charles, lost his mama, and he said his dad kicked him out because he ain't ish. We got Julie. She don't get along with her parents. She don't get along with her family. She's the black sheep. Her friends are her chosen family. We got Cynthia. She lost both of her parents as a preteen when she needed them the most. I'm like, again, Oliver Twist. This is Love is Blind. L'amour à l'aveugle. I get it. Orphans need love, but this is a twist I was not expecting. I am sorry. I am so sorry. But give me 10 more seasons with the Oliver Twist. Give me 10 more seasons with the Oliver Twist. Because, wow. But I feel bad. I feel bad for my cousin, okay? I feel bad for my cousin. Losing your parents at such a young age, especially an age where you are starting to discover yourself as a young lady, is completely devastating. And Cynthia, you wanting your partner to not talk to a woman at 1 a.m. is also completely understanding. Like, it is not because you have fear of abandonment. That is just straight up disrespectful, okay? For someone, man or woman, to talk to another person while they are with their partner at 1 a.m. The 1 a.m. matters. It matters. At any time of the day, yeah. But at night? What the heck are y'all talking at night that y'all can't talk in the day? I don't know. I get that he's a director and he has to talk to talent, but you can send a text, please. Okay, so moving on, we are on episode 3 and we get a message. Galien has been dismissed from the experiment. He has broken the rules and he has been let go. I am like, what the freak did this man do? We have never had a message like this on Love is Blind. But the first Love is Blind franchise in France, we get this kind of message. Guess what? This man was dangerously horny. He met with a woman in a hotel at 1 a.m. in the morning, which is why Cynthia was like, don't talk to ladies at 1 a.m. in the morning. Okay, they didn't say the 1 a.m. in the morning. And he basically broke the no phone or contact with the outside world. And I am like, French men are not beating that y'all are dangerously horny allegations. Okay? Clément, the intellectual, was talking about 3 times half a day. So meaning he really wanted it to be 6 times a day, which is fine. Listen, that is your intimacy appetite. Go ahead, right? But this man could not wait a couple of days to hunch. He had to go hunt someone in the staff room. He had to go hunt someone across the street in a hotel. Like, you are on Love is Blind. L'amour à l'aveugle. And you say you want to be married, but you cannot wait half a day to go hunch some other lady. That is wild. Y'all are not beating those dangerously horny allegations. Wow. I was like, This is the first time someone has ever left the experiment. And it is because this man was horny. He was thinking with his other head the whole time. That seclusion was not working for him. And I'm like, dang it. My girl Tati just broke up with Thomas. She had an awesome time with him, but because he's more interested in Kim, she broke it off. And now she met with Yannick and Galien. And remember, Galien was the one I actually thought was much more likable than Yannick. And I'm like, but girl, you only have one option now. Are you kidding me? And this man was dangerously horny. Listen, she definitely said it's a blessing in disguise. And I agree. It is a blessing in disguise. A man who's going to come on a reality TV show and not last a day because he got a hunch, someone in the staff room, diabolical. Oh my gosh. And everyone finds out. And Thomas, who by this time, he's already engaged to Kim. I didn't go into detail about their engagement. And again, Kim looked beautiful, fashion on 10, okay? By this time in episode 3, Toma and Kim are already engaged. You know, she messed that thing up with Clement. She told Toma he's her first. He told her she's his first. They got engaged and now they're together. So when this news comes out, Toma meets with Tatiana and just to calm her and tell her basically it's a blessing in disguise, which I agree. And I kind of like that. I like that we saw people who were already engaged still interact with people who are still in the parts. Because I feel like in the US version, we don't get that. It's like, oh, you two got engaged and you're off, but they're not off. They get engaged and it's like, okay, you just sit on the side since you already have your partner, or maybe you just talk to your partner after your engagement, but you're still there. So I was pleasantly surprised. Again, pay the editing team, pay them more. They clocked in. So I liked seeing that side. And I really like seeing the fact that he did console her, even though he was already engaged to Kim. All right. He did console her. Kim also consoled her. And it's just like, girl, oh my gosh, I feel so bad for my girl. And Tati is the type who takes things to heart. She took the fact that Toma told her she had to fight a little bit more to heart. And now that this guy is basically hunching someone in the staff room, she's taking it to heart as well. But it is a blessing in disguise. Since everyone told her that, she's taking it on the chin and just moving on to her next connection, as she should. And I think after that, Charles and Julie meet and they talk about the intimacy life. Apparently, they're both morning hunchers, okay? For me, it was a bit much. I was like, do you want to share that on international television? Listen, the French population are not the only people watching this. I am in the US. This is international territory. Netflix, as y'all call it, it's international. It's not just French. Like, I know about your intimacy life. That is too much. But anyways, they meet, they talk about it. It's fine. Now, Charles and Sarah meet, and Sarah does not want to talk about her intimacy life because she does not want to share something so intimate with the general French public. And again, I'm like, smart girl, because it is not just French, it is international. Okay? Le monde entier is watching this. This is international. International. Pas seulement français. But he doesn't like that. He doesn't like the fact that she doesn't want to talk about her intimacy life. And I'm using intimacy for sex because I think she actually said she did not want to talk about sex and not general intimacy. But he doesn't like it. He feels like, they need to talk about it. And I agree, okay? Talking about those stuff are very important. But again, this is a public platform. Not everyone wants to share stuff like that on a public platform. Like, the fact that I know Julie is a morning hunter, I should not know that. I'm sorry, that's too much. That is too much. I should not know that. But I do. And I'm commenting on it. Anyways, and that morning hunter is going to come back. So he doesn't really like that, but hey. And then after, I don't know if it was after that conversation or before, Sarah basically gives him an ultimatum. She says, listen, I know you're talking to another girl, and I think you're a cool guy. I like you, and I need you to make a decision on whether you want me or you want her right on this date. I'm like, damn, Sarah. Sarah, you are the definition of love is war. I would never suggest giving an ultimatum to someone, but I'm not gonna lie. Even I was thinking like, damn, Sarah, like I am becoming even more attracted to you. What's going on? I like the way she delivered her ultimatum. It wasn't clingy. It wasn't pick me or something. Because I feel like when a lot of people give ultimatums get a bad rep for good reasons. All right. But when people give ultimatums, it's always out of this desperation. And I kind of feel like Sarah's ultimatum was not desperate. Is it because I like her? I don't know. Am I giving her passes because I like her? Please let me know in the comment section below. But I just feel like Sarah's ultimatum was not out of desperation. It was more so out of clarity. I need to know where you stand, and you are kind of being indecisive right now, and I don't like it. Sarah's archetype is definitely a protective mother. They like direct conversation, and they want clarity, and I clearly saw that. And I like the way she gave her ultimatum. Okay, I like it. And he didn't answer during that date, but he did strongly consider it, which is a good sign. And after that, we meet Van Mi. Van Mi is the only Asian guy we have. Actually, speaking of Asian guys, this franchise, Love is Blind, has a lot of Asian people. And I'm like, if you're Asian and you want to be on a dating reality show, apparently go to France, because the US and the UK are not it. People have been asking, where are the Asians in the US version of Love is Blind? And they only gave us one weirdo, which was Andrew, and he was fake crying. No, there was also that other girl, Taylor, but she's half Asian. I don't know. But this season had a lot of Asian folks finding love, and I did appreciate that. So we meet Van Mi. He's an osteopathic doctor, and he's ready for love. He says, well, he described himself as shy and timid, but honestly, I think those adjectives just mean reserved. Okay, people who tend to be quote unquote shy and timid, they're not really shy and timid. They're just reserved. They need to find a group of people for them to come out, but it's not. I don't know. But anyways, that's how he described himself, and he meets with Sabrina. Sabrina is, I forgot what she does, okay? He meets with Sabrina, and I really love their dynamic together. I really love them together. They have really good conversations. They seem to click on so many levels, values, beliefs, all that. And overall, I was like, this is a pretty good connection. And finally, Asian people finding love on my screen. Because apparently the US is like, no love for you. Kind of weird. Anyways, so after Sabrina meets with Van Mi, she also meets Julien. And initially, I just saw Julien. I was like, you look like an F-boy. Okay, like, I was not interested. Listen, I did kind of dismiss him early. And I was like, you give me F-boy vibes. But, Anyway, Sabrina likes him. They also have a lot of stuff in common. What did they have in common? Did I not write that in my notes? Well, they also click and they have a lot of stuff in common. So Sabrina has a connection with Van Mi, who's Asian, and she has a connection with Julien. So the next day, Julien comes into the pods to talk to Sabrina, and he says, well, I was kind of sad because I was thinking about this ex of mine that I dated. And I'm like, listen, love the honesty. But there is a difference between honesty and brutal honesty. I don't think the French people know. It's like, why are you talking to this woman you want to potentially marry about some random girl who gave you morning, you know what? Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I was like, is he another Ghanaian? Are you going to go hunch in the staff room as well? Like, y'all are not being those allegations. Well, Sabrina's like, love your honesty, but you're not for me. And I was like, yes, girl. Yes, girl. I love the honesty during this season. And I love the fact people are just like, you know what? This is a lie. I'm out. This is a lie. I'm out. Yes. I'm just like, huh? Love the honesty, but come on. Why would you tell someone you're dating about another person? That is just not cool. Anyways. Actually, I skipped something. Yes, okay. So going back, another person Yannick met with. Yannick is the one who had a connection with Tatiana. Another person Yannick connected with was Cindy. Cindy's very direct. Cindy's very open, and she's gonna tell you how it is. And he really appreciated that out of Cindy over the people who just tend to be long-winded. And when I heard this, I was like, okay, maybe Yannick is not a jerk. He's just one of those people who have a short attention span. I be like that, so I understand. So he connected with Cindy and Tatiana. And once Tatiana realized he connected with Cindy, she comes into the pods and she wants to take herself out the game. And I'm like, girl, like Tatiana has gone through so much in these pods. First, she connected with Thomas because he's a single dad like her. He didn't want her, he wanted Kim. She connected with Galien. Galien went to hunch in the back with some random girl. Now she's connecting with Yannick. Now she's finding out he too has a connection with Cindy, and she wants to take herself out of the game. And I'm just like, Tati, listen, this man did not even say he's not interested in you. Why are you like, you are basically, I don't know. I guess it takes a toll on you. It's like you're dating all these people and it just does not work out one after another. you're at a certain age, you feel like being a single mom is a knockdown on you. She literally said she comes with a lot of baggage, which I disagree, okay? Your child is not baggage. I'm sorry. No matter what these red pillars say, a child is not baggage. She literally said that at one point. And I'm just like, dang it. She's wanting to take herself out of the game. But I was pleasantly surprised how Yannick reassured her and he told her, ask me. Talk to me directly. Instead of trying to be wishy-washy, just be direct. Am I more interested in Cindy? No. I'm actually more interested in you, which it gave her confidence and the reassurance she needed. And I think she was just mentally exhausted. And she really needed that. So I did actually like that part of their relationship. Back to Yannick and Tatiana. He picks her. She's happy. And I'm just like, I'm happy she got picked because she seemed like she was emotionally exhausted and stressed. So I'm happy she got picked. But I'm still like, is he the right one for you? I don't know. I'm not sure. But she got picked. They're together. I'm jumping all over the place. So now going back to Julien and Sabrina. He told her he was having morninghood about his ex. She broke off with him. He comes back into the men's room. He's talking about, well, she broke off with me. We see Van Mee, her other connection, playing chess. And I am like, the editors ain't ish. The editors ain't ish. So diabolical. Are you kidding me? Really? Oh my gosh, that was well timed. So our final couples are Chloe and Alexander, Kim and Thomas, Cynthia and Jonathan. Did I talk about how Cynthia and Jonathan met? Tatiana and Yannick, Julie and Charles, Sabrina and Van Mee. And I am like 6 couples? 6 couples on Love is Blind? I don't think so. Maybe 1 or 2 max are gonna get married. Ain't no way we got 6 couples on Love is Blind. Hell no. But yeah, so that is it for my review of Love is Blind episode 1 to 4. This was a whirlwind. Listen, usually the pause is where it's dry. These pause connection was so entertaining. Wow. Oh my gosh. I don't know what happened. And I actually skipped something. You might want to go back. So Sarah gave that ultimatum, and she did tell Charles that his other connection is being extremely inappropriate in the ladies' lounge, and she basically keeps talking about sexuality and stuff like that, and that is already something Sarah has alluded to not want to talk about in public. So when Charles meets with Julie, he talks to her about what Sarah said, and she's like, well, I didn't mean it like that. I said this, I said that, and honestly, again, I feel like this is all a misunderstanding type thing because from Sarah's perspective, she does not talk about those stuff publicly. Whereas for Julie, it's something she's comfortable talking about. So it's not necessarily that Sarah was saying she's a loose woman, but I can see how that can be translated to that. But anyways, so they cleared that little misunderstanding up, and the editors ain't ish. Charles has to talk to both Sarah and Julie and make his final decision. When he opens the door, we hear Julie's voice, and then he talks about how he basically wants to break up the connection, and we see Sarah on the other side. And I'm just like, wow. Again, the editors clocked in today. So Charles ends stuff with Sarah. He gets engaged to Julie, and they become a couple. Okay, so that is it for my review of Love is Blind France, episode 1 to 4. Please let me know what you thought in the comment section below. Please let me know what you thought of these couples, because they are messy, but you know who is messier? The editing team. The editing team is completely messy, and I'm here for it. Give me more. All right, so that is it, and I'll see you next week. Bye.